Peace. It's your boy Lord Supreme, man. Yo, I gotta really do this video, and I'm gonna post it on YouTube. Because there's been a lot of things I've been sitting here really doing a knowledge to. And in some cases, I'm looking at like, are you really doing your job? Or are you saying you're doing your job to a bunch of people that you don't know? And what do I mean when I say that? All right, well, first of all, what I'm gonna say is this. Dealing with today's supreme mathematics, which is knowledge God. First of all, the foundation of all things in existence should be based on accumulated facts, observation, assessments, evaluations, studying, researching, and analyzing how things go. God is none other than the original man. I'm looking at this whole situation in regards to what is the meaning of civilization. Now, you know, I'm gonna get involved in some of these subjects because I really want to understand where the underlying factor is. Dealing with today's knowledge God, knowing who you are puts you in a better place of showing the world your potential, your capabilities, and your abilities. So when we say that we got the knowledge of God, that means that we basically got the knowledge of ourselves. So one instance where a lot of brothers that come into the knowledge of God do is, you know, they're adamant about teaching everybody. They're adamant about teaching sisters, drawing them up. But that's the subject I want to talk about. Drawing up these sisters and building with them. Then leaving them on the island all by themselves. Let me tell you something. I'm going to say this. Now, I'm speaking from a personal experience. You can't teach somebody under the influence. I'm telling you that point blank period. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do. I don't care how you slice it, dice it, cut it, mince it, whatever. You can't teach nobody under the pretenses of being intoxicated, inebriated, or high. And what I mean by high, I mean dealing with hard substances, dealing with drugs, dealing with cocaine, dealing with dope, heroin, whatever one you want to look at it as, crack, LSD, PCP. You cannot teach the knowledge of God under those pretenses or those circumstances because you're essentially destroying yourself and you're essentially looking like a hypocrite. The reason why I'm talking about this is because there's a lot of sisters that got in contact with me and was asking me multiple questions about what to do when you're only given half of which you were supposed to be taught fully. All right. And the thing about it is, why are they coming to me? And the funny thing is, they're coming to me in regards because they don't want to understand that, like, if you want somebody to have the knowledge of themselves, right? You want somebody to have knowledge of self. If somebody's coming into the knowledge of themselves and they choose themselves because they choose the best part for themselves, then you should be able to give it to them the way that they deserve to be given to. In other words, if they're earning your respect, they're earning the knowledge, they're earning their way of getting the knowledge from you as an educator or enlightener, whatever way you want to call it, then you should give it to them all the way live. You're not supposed to deny them of their abilities to be able to flourish and blossom as a woman, especially if you're teaching a woman. Now, the wisdom degree in the 1 of 14 tells you civilized means to teach knowledge and wisdom to all human families of the planet Earth. Civilized. Are you civilized under the pretense of being drunk? Are you civilized under the pretense of being high? Are you even functioning properly under those circumstances? You're probably not. And you know why? Because I know this from experience. You can't tell somebody that you got the knowledge of yourself and you sitting up here drunk talking to somebody, trying to teach them. They're going to look at you like, how are you showing and proving that you got and you don't even have control over your own circumstance? That means that they won't acknowledge you as God after a while, because you're allowing a situation to dictate how you live and move and operate. On a mental level, on an emotional level, even on a physical level. Why am I saying that? Well, because you got to realize that these women are not here to play games with you. They're not here to jerk around with you. They're not here to, be sexually demoralized or mentally or emotionally demoralized, because they already went through that. So they're here to get a better understanding of what their purpose and origin is in this world. And for you to be under the pretense of being inebriated, not sober-minded, it puts them in a bad situation. It forces them to go outside of the realm of what they're originally looking for, which is the knowledge of himself from a person like you, or even me. I'm not exempt from this. Speaking from experience, the meaning of civilization is the one that has one having. If I have the knowledge of myself and I have the science down packed of the knowledge of God, shouldn't I know what the meaning of civilization is if I have the proper knowledge of God? Because all knowledge isn't proper and all knowledge isn't healthy either. Just want to put that out there for understanding purposes. Brothers, we got to get this shit together. We got a lot of work to do, man. These sisters can't be our backbone if we're teaching them under the pretense of being alcoholics, coke heads, dope fiends, addicts. God shouldn't be no addict. God is not an addict, and God doesn't formulate habits. God's supposed to be the sole controller. The last part of the student enrollment and the knowledge degree, and in 1 to 10 it says, God of the universe. The universe is everything. God is what? Man is God, man is mind. If you don't have control over your mind, how are you going to have control over your body? Especially when it comes down to these substances that you are taking into your physical. The mind don't submit to the body submits to the mind. And that's the supreme divine understanding of all things. But yet you got this shit backwards, because now you're leaving a sour taste in these women's mouth. They don't want to come around for the knowledge, because every time they come around, they see you in the state of being drunk, being intoxicated, being inebriated, and not giving it to them all the way live. How are you expecting them to be a reflection of you, and you can't even properly give them the knowledge the right way, which is out of the circumstance of being a drunk, being intoxicated? I had to learn my lesson the hard way. I was sitting up here days in and days out, getting drunk, being an alcoholic and trying to teach. You can't do that. Yeah, and I'm speaking from my experience, that what I did, and I know for a fact it don't work. You can't teach somebody drunk. You can't teach somebody high. You can't teach somebody under the circumstances of being doped up, nodding off. You can't teach like that. Tell us why the devil does not teach that. Because he desires to make slaves out of all he can so he can rob them and live in luxury. You're being stripped of your dignity and your pride and your understanding, especially if you got the knowledge of yourself. That's very hypocritical. Very hypocritical. You should be ashamed of that type of situation, because at the end of the day, that's not you that's teaching. You're other than your own self. The knowledge wisdom degree says, yes, that made him other than his own self. What is his own self? He won't know what is his own self if he's a drunk, if he's high. and telling these black women that he got the knowledge of God and the true and living God is the original man, but yet the original man is living like a low life. Like he's not living like the supreme being. He's not living like that. He's living like he's at a low standard of life, like he's like stuck in 6. That's what they call being stuck in 6. Now let me tell you something. We are of 6, but we are in 6, but we are not of 6. Meaning, the ones that have the proper knowledge of themselves and know who they are, know their origin in this world, know the foundation, know how they live their life, won't be caught up in all these carnal desires. And these carnal desires could be drugs, sex, committing, cheating, lying, stealing. This tells you this all in the lessons. The meaning of civilization. If you don't have the meaning of civilization, that means you're not civil. That means you're not an upright, upstanding citizen. That means that you're not doing what's necessary to teach civilization to others. And they won't acknowledge you as God. You are being very destructive in the process of what you're doing. Essentially. This is not our way. We're supposed to practice and always keep implementing every single day divinity to the world. Now, we're not saying that we're going to save the world. I ain't saying that. I keep it simple and I teach it real. But what I'm saying is, go through your lessons. Go through your lessons. Listen, man, your lessons will give you all the answers that you need. As a matter of fact, if you even go through supreme mathematics, it gives you all the answers you need. Forget the lessons, just go through supreme math. It's simple. If you're breaking it down the right way, if you bringing forth understanding, if you're using it in life analogies to help bring forth understanding to other things in your life that's going on. You can't be understanding comes in time. And in time will reveal all. Time is the biggest snitch. Why? Because it tells you everything you need to know within that space or within that opportunity of things taking place. So this is the shout out to all the sisters, yo. Just because you have an educator doesn't mean you have to stop there. Just because you have a brother that's teaching you or you're in a personal relationship with doesn't mean you have to stop there. You can get the knowledge from any brother that is qualified under the circumstances of teaching this the right way. This is why it's important for us to have proper health and mental health. I know what it's like, man. I've been through that already. I don't need to go through that no more. Sitting up here drinking, trying to teach brothers who they are. But yeah, I'm not even knowing who I am because I don't know what my own self is because I'm drunk. People are like, that's not you. Right, it's not me. And I'm not going to make it like me. I'm not going to keep living that life. I understand my power. I'm 35 years old. What was the date of expiration of the devil's civilization? Expired in the year 1914. Expiration. When it's time to go, it's time to go. But if you want to go fast and easy or slow, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing all that drinking. Keep doing all that smoking. And this goes for sisters too. Don't think you're exempt. Because the same thing that you sitting here doing is the same thing people will look for to even give you a reason to not call you the earth, not call you a queen. And that's real talk. This does not exclude any woman. This only helps you understand what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, and what you need to do in order for brothers and sisters to see the knowledge of God within you. I'm telling you, the meaning of civilization is having the proper knowledge of God. Not just knowledge in God. I'm saying, oh, that's the true and living. No. See the God within yourself first. And everything else will come in time. I'm on my way to work right now, man. You guys take it easy and have a good day. And remember what I said, man. You can't teach the knowledge of God under circumstances of being drunk, high, and inebriated on any type of hard substance. Because all you're going to do is have the world look at you like how they look at everybody else. The same. Peace.